Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here and welcome back to SpinTires MudRunner, where we're going to be taking a look at another realistic mod. Now, as you can probably tell, the camera angle has changed a little bit again, but the only reasoning behind that is mainly because of the fact that I'm in a new space and I'm still trying to play around and figure out the optimal camera angle to use. So the camera angle may or may not change a couple more times, just so you guys know that going forward. Now, this is a new mod from Nix, and I will be leaving the link in the description below to where you guys can get this mod because it is a public mod, and it is his 86 F150 on Rockwell axles. Now, it only has two mods, which, well, or just, like, add-ons, upgrades, whatever you want to call them, and those are the doors and the repair kit. Now, I'm actually going to be taking the doors off of this one because I figure if we're going to be out in the wilderness with it, we're going to run it without the doors. But what we'll probably do is on one of our rescues, when we bring it back here to the garage, we'll put the doors back on it so we kind of have a sort of have a little bit of time without the doors and then a little bit of time with the doors. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the repair kit on it. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see what this thing is like to drive. Now, setting off, as you can plainly see, I forgot to take it out of free cam mode, but that is easily solved with a push of a button. Now, this thing is, in my opinion, one of the coolest trucks he's done so far. I really enjoy the Fords of this period. I think they're really cool, and I think they're also very underappreciated. And I think if more people paid attention to these Fords, like in general, I feel like, now don't get me wrong, there are some people out there that really like this particular body style, but I definitely feel like there are a few generations behind it and a few generations in front of it that kind of steal this generation's spotlight a little bit. And as you can see right there, we've already maxed out the flex, so you're definitely talking about a very realistic rig. You're not talking about something that's got like this wild, overpowered flex capability, which honestly is not a bad thing, because in a world, but really, in a world of crawlers that are always super insane and really powerful and extremely grippy and extremely flexible, it's almost refreshing to deal with something like this that's definitely more realism focused and is definitely going to give you a more realistic, approach as to what kind of flex levels it would actually be capable of. So let's get it a little bit closer to the edge of this hill. Then there we go. It does have really good grip. Like, the grip is awesome. It's got that almost like walking-like characteristic to it, to where once it finds the grip, it just walks right up whatever you're pointing it at. Trying to wiggle the front end around a little bit, see if by wiggling the front end or by bumping it, if I can kind of get that rear end to hop up, which I doubt it based on the angle, but it's always worth a try. It's always worth just a little bit of a try. Come on. It's so close, man. It's so close. Yeah, it is so close to being able to do something. I guarantee you that with a little bit more, maybe a little bit more time and a little bit more, like, negotiating of that line, it could do it. It would just take some time, and it would take a lot of time put into just the setup of the line. Man, she is not, like, she was really happy earlier. Not so much now. I want to see if I can walk it over to the right a little bit. But unfortunately, that means getting the front axle up to where I want it. Which, oh, there it is. It's trying to bump itself up. Oh my god, it is whoa! That was not what I expected to see. Oh my god! It just straight up negotiated that line. Wow. Although, unfortunately, I sort of put the truck in a bit of a bad spot, and I'm not sure how the process of getting it out of said bad spot is going to be. Fortunately, as long as we keep the front axle up here, I think we're okay. But the problem with that is that I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to keep the front axle up here. It wants to go, it's just It's just really fighting it. Oh! Oh, it's gonna stall. Oh my god, we've stood it up on the back end of the truck. That's not gonna go. Yep. Yep. Oh my god, rolling all the way back down. Alright, that's way to... Wow. That's rubbing it in your face on that one. That is like 100% rubbing it in your face on that one. Alright, let's go ahead and throw the doors on it now that we're back at the garage and sort of get an idea of what it looks like when you spend time driving it with the doors on. Because the doors do look good, and they definitely shouldn't be ignored as like a, I don't need those. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to look at the doors and be like, it's an off-road vehicle, I don't need doors. But at the end of the day, sometimes having doors are nice. Like, what if you're out on the trail and it starts, like, thunderstorming or something? And there are going to be some people that are going to be like, oh, yeah, I want doors for that. And there are going to be other people that are going to be like, shut up, quit whining. Like, so I feel like you're going to have two separate schools of thought on that. But whichever school of thought you want to go with, that's completely up to you. I mean, I feel like on some days I go one way, and on some days I go the other way. So it kind of all depends on what direction I'm going. But let's see if we can find any, like, really interesting obstacles out this way. Normally, oh, okay. I remember where, yes, if you go under the bridge, I think you find some really cool obstacles down there, too. Got a cloak point up there, but we've been out to this map a fair amount of times now, and I don't really need to remove that cloak point. It does have a lot of grip. I mean, that is really the sort of overshadowing thing. Not really overshadowing, but like dominant factor, if you will, of this truck is its grip. I mean, the grip is so good. It's so good. Easing it. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. It just walked right through that. I mean, it really just did exactly what I wanted it to do and just walked right through there, really without complaining whatsoever. I wonder if I can find another spot that would be really good to run this thing. Actually, I know exactly where I want to take it. Gonna have to, well, I won't have to break trail, but in order to get there moderately quickly, I will want to break trail, and that's totally fine. I mean, unless you're very specific about never, ever, ever breaking trail, which I feel like most of my viewers are not very specific about never breaking trail, but you never know, there might be some out there. The obstacle I'm looking for should be out this way. It is a really fun rig to just, like, watch the suspension move around on, though. Whoop! It's pretty balanced, actually. It doesn't really want to roll over on you all the time. I mean, when you do lose it, it will roll over, but it's not one of those trucks that feels like the center of gravity is, like, up at the top of a skyscraper, and it's always trying to roll over on you no matter what you do. It actually is very, very balanced, and it feels like it's balanced. I mean, it's got a good range of motion to it, almost, so to speak. Let's walk you down this way. And even though it's not the most flexy thing in the world, it definitely has a bit of that character to where, yeah, you might be tripoding sometimes, but it's still not going to be far behind the super flexible rigs. Yo, there you go. Oh. See, I mean, once you find the lines, it just walks right up whatever you put in front of it, man. What a great rig. And a great realistic rig at that. I mean, Nix has been doing an amazing job lately of just busting out these amazing realistic crawlers. And I haven't seen somebody solely focus on realistic crawlers like this since the days where, you know, Spun and Brute were releasing mods like seemingly all the time, you know? And really seeing something like this is so cool. And not only is it really cool, but I think it's a breath of fresh air in, you know, it's a breath of fresh air among, like, the current mod environment. And not saying that the current mod environment is bad or anything, but it's just cool to see somebody doing something a little bit different and really, you know, putting their spin on things. And especially, like, this thing you can see is definitely a truck that's got a lot of character to it and a lot of his, you know, personal touch to it. And I think I would really like to hit one more obstacle before we finish up. You know, it would help if I didn't have the e-brake on. It would really, really help. Gonna pop down through here. Once we pop down this direction, we're gonna roll over. Yep. Oh, I was really hoping that we were gonna, like, keep tipping over and roll onto our wheels, but we didn't have such luck, actually. Bruh. There we go. No such luck for us on that one. Seeing as we had to get recovered back to the garage, I want to attempt that same climb one more time. Actually, no. You know what I need to do? I need to see how this thing does on the racetrack, because most of the trucks that I bring out here, I generally always like to do a racetrack test, and I feel like this thing's obviously not going to be ultra fast, but I think it's still going to be fun to drive, because usually vehicles with good driving dynamics, you know, in this game are going to be fun to drive regardless of how fast they are. So this thing may actually prove to be really fun around the racetrack. Yo, we are maxed out right there for speed. It's not, you know what, it feels really slow, but actually when you start getting into it, you realize that it's not. Oh no! There's been an accident. There's been an accident with Hammond. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a better flow going throughout the rest of the track. It definitely understeers a ton with the diff lock on, but that also makes a ton of sense. You do have to keep it flat out, like flat out all the time in order to not have it downshift on you. And sometimes it will still downshift on you, which is fine. It's just kind of one of those things that you definitely have to be prepared for. And there are some jumps that you still, oh my God, what a wheelie. There are some jumps that you still won't make, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's a super fun truck. And I think the realism part is definitely what sort of stands at the top of the features list for me for this truck, is that it's very realistic, it's very fun to drive, it's very fun to use, and there will be a link to it in the description below to where you guys can head out and check it out. So if y'all enjoyed this video, please do consider hitting that like button. If you enjoyed it and have any other suggestions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you have questions, you can leave them down there as well. And if you would like to see more, click that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to y'all later, and I hope you guys enjoyed.